Well, hey, Christy.
Good morning, Kelly. I am so sorry I am late, but once again, my children forgot what they do in the morning every single day and needed play-by-play instructions. I also made a very poor parenting decision. We were in Minnesota for Presley's tournament, and I'll get back to this, but I'm out of coffee. That's a real fucking winner for the day.
That's a problem.
So I'm drinking this mushroom coffee shit that tastes absolutely terrible that I ordered some night in the middle of the night that promised all of the health and wellnesses, and I would be smoking hot and I would be skinny and my skin would glow and my hair would grow like Rapunzel. It's bullshit. We should talk about toxic wellness culture in a minute. But anywho, back to your favorite Lululemon. So Presley over spring break, I bought Presley at the Mall of America 2 items from Lululemon and I paid full price. A pair of shorts and a shirt. This morning, I know, they were $70 a piece.
I was going to say.
Doll.
And probably the shorts have a 1-inch inseam, if I'm
they're
guessing.
actually, I made sure they're cute shorts, but here's the thing. It is Wednesday. Presley has worn them since Sunday. And they have not been washed.
It's Thursday.
Is it Thursday?
It's Thursday. I can definitely guarantee you it's Thursday, but that just makes your story even better / worse.
This is how my week is going. No one can get their shit together. I swear to God, whatever it is, Saturn's in retrograde or Mercury or whatever, but it is hitting my life hard this week, and I am out of progesterone because I forgot to pick it up. So I'm like, I'll be fine. I can sleep. Bullshit. I can no longer sleep without progesterone. Fantastic. Anywho, so this morning the drama was, I was like, Presley came down with those shorts on. I was like, hey, babe, you've worn those every day since Monday. She's like, they're fine. They're not dirty. I'm like, I bet they stink. So I had to pull them off of her, essentially. She's like, I have nothing to wear. I have no clothes. I'm like, okay, well, that's crap. Go up and put on some of your butterfly shorts. And she's like, I hate those. I'm like, oh my God, child. And then I had ordered her a pair of dupes, Lululemon dupes. And I was like, here, try these on. But of course, they were a size too small and were showing ass cheek. And I was like, she's like, they're fine. I'm like, you are not wearing those. And she's like, I should be able to pick my own clothes. And I said, Presley, here's the deal. How this relationship works is I'm your mom. I tell you what to do. Period.
Till you're 18 or you don't live under my roof.
Well, meanwhile, forever, Kelly. Let's
forever.
Be real. And then meanwhile, Colton, who's like, and I'm calm. I've been trying really hard not to raise my voice. I'm being really calm, and Colton's like being super sweet and Preston's like, Colton, you're being so annoying.
You're being an ass kisser.
So they were late.
Mom's ass.
They were late today, hence why I'm late, and I'm not caffeinated yet. Hi, Kelly. How's your week been? I feel like you might have a story or two.
I've had a bit of a week, boy. So, last week I mentioned on the podcast that we were getting rid of our renters in our house, which was going to be a glorious day. And I was, of course, always maintaining a positive attitude and hopes that I would be right. And most of the rest of the world was like, never going to happen, Kelly. Your hopes will be dashed. And just, spoiler, you were all right. And I was wrong again.
Can I get a timeout on this one? Yeah. Because I was positive about it too. So
it's true. You were
we
supporting
were
me.
Wrong. I will be on the wrong side with you.
And I will always maintain that I would rather be optimistic and proven wrong than pessimistic and proven right. And sometimes, though, it's like, what a kick in the pants. I am just disappointed is probably the best word in the choices that this particular couple has made as far as being full-grown adults and being responsible. And to summarize, we made arrangements to pick the keys up at 6 p.m. on Tuesday, the 31st, and we would do a walkthrough of the house and the handover of the keys. And I got an email at 4 p.m. and it said, the keys are on the banister. Thank you. We went into the house and I know why they ghosted us. Because there was no universe that they were going to walk through my house with us in. Because they would be blasted. And they have not replied to emails. They have our mailbox key, which means we've had to go to the post office and get new keys made and new locks put on our post box. I hope they're not. Actually, I hope you are expecting checks in the mail because guess what? You won't be getting them from us because the keys are changing today. Anyways, and I have pets. You have pets. I rent a house.
Unfortunately.
Listen, shush. I don't have the emotional bandwidth for that conversation today. I miss my dog. Anyways, they have pets and pets make mistakes and you clean them up. Or you could just leave things where they are and then have your children, I don't know if they have a coffee addiction and a tripping problem, but there's a lot of stains in every room of my carpeted upstairs of my house. I put new carpet in my house in 2018. It's new carpet. I'm like, it's a light gray and white. I could show you pictures. It will make you sad and also probably get on a plane and find them. It is not one or two spots. It is multiples. They also said they booked a carpet cleaner, and as per their contract, they have to. And they have yet to confirm. It was supposed to be happening today. I've texted and said, hey, can you confirm? Because if it isn't happening, I need to book the cleaners. And they have not replied to anything. So we will be arranging and paying for carpet cleaning, amongst other things, in addition to my contractor coming to clean up some things and a landscaper to come and do the backyard that they have clearly never touched in a couple of years. And I am just so disappointed. And I kind of wish I followed their moving truck so I knew what their forwarding address was, because I would love to lay my eyeballs on these humans one more time. In the meantime, they will be getting a bill from me on a very legal letter. And I will pull, here's what I love about America. None of this bullshit in the U.S. So while the rules don't apply, my attitude does. So listen, I'm coming. I got receipts, quite literally. I'll quite literally have receipts and I'm coming. So get your checkbook out, is you're going to owe me a lot of moolah.
Pain and suffering. Put that in there too.
Listen, and I should just put my hourly rate based on my salary and then times it by all the hours I had to scrub their teenage son's piss out of the floor of the basement bathroom. And if I showed you pictures, you would barf. I'm like, who did you never come downstairs? Did you ever vacuum? I'm just like, what the fuck? You are not renting a college dormitory. You are renting a 6-bedroom executive house and you treated it like a fucking toilet, literally.
So let me get this straight, just to recap.
Yes, please.
They didn't pay rent.
No, yes, they didn't end up giving me the last half of the rent either. No apologies, no ghosted me, no responses.
So they owe you rent.
Mm-hmm.
They owe you cleaning.
Uh-huh.
They also owe you new flooring.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no cleaning service that can get out what you just described.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Stanley Steamer. I don't know if you have that in Canada.
Yeah,
I don't know why that just came to mind. I'm like,
yeah, we have a we have a guy. Yeah, we have that.
But at this point, you're like, just light a match. I mean, my God,
And
that's disgusting.
And let's not forget that they have not paid me the last 4 water bills, because in the city that our house is in, the water bill must remain in the landlord's name. And so I pay the bills and they are meant to reimburse me immediately upon receipt of said bill. And they are 4 bills behind to the tune of about $720. So they owe me that too. Good times. Bless. Are you okay? I'm choking on it. You're choking on a reishi mushroom. That's what's happening.
Oh my God. How'd you know what I was talking about? Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? The amount of stuff I buy that I'm like, Christy, your buddy does that naturally. We don't need a detox tea. It's called a liver. and kidney. That's
I
actually
know,
their
but we do
function.
fall prey. We do fall prey. The problem with that mushroom
Listen.
coffee,
Oh, go ahead.
is it a subscription? Is it Rise?
It is
R-Y-Z-E?
Rise, and I didn't realize it was a subscription, so you fuckers. I just wanted to try it, and then I got, like, 5 months supply of it, and I'm like, "Great, now I have to, like, choke my way through this." But here's the deal, I took a hot girl walk with, my little sister Jenny, little short Jenny. I mean, it was slower because she's got small legs, but it's fine. Anywho, so we were chit-chatting about she's been taking what is it? Is it cow liver or blood? I don't know, supplement, some sort of
Is it called Primal Queen? Beef,
Yes,
it's yes. I tried
right?
it for a month. I didn't,
And
like, turn into anything new, so I stopped it. I thought
and
I would be
suddenly
Wonder
turned
Woman and
into a Baywatch, babe. Fuck it, it doesn't
30
work.
I give you 30 days to reverse the 40 plus years of damage I have done as an adult, and then, oops, boo, it didn't happen, so stopping immediately.
Well, it was so funny because she's also been lifting a lot more.
Okay.
And so she was saying how, she was in her particular point of her cycle, she was feeling better than she normally did. She's like, but I don't know if it's this thing I'm taking or the lifting. And then I've added this in. And I was like, here's the kicker, man. We got to change one thing at a time to see if shit works.
Yeah, it's troubleshooting 101, right? Don't do multiple variables because you won't know which one to attribute it to. So then you're either stuck with all of them or you stop all of them.
Right. But then, like, also, too, it's like when you're in that phase of like, I'm going to get my shit together, which every day I wake up and I tell myself that, except for today because I haven't slept because I didn't pick up my progesterone. But I know.
She's running light on caffeine and hope at this point.
I mean, and I think so my antidepressant and my estrogen are like the exact same looking pill. Like they're the same size and shape. And
That
I
feels
think I may
risky.
have taken 2 of my estrogen this morning and not an antidepressant. Today could be real fucking interesting.
I have because when you're not in your normal habit, you kind of forget your habits. And so I missed progesterone at night a couple of times. Oh my gosh, probably in the last, and maybe some of this is just stress of this whole move type thing going on too. But I've woken up at 4 o'clock almost every day since Monday morning and just stayed awake, which is not great for anybody really. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And some of those things that you take have like,
Why didn't you tell me I've been on mute? I've been saying amazing shit over here.
I didn't see you were on mute. I didn't also see your lips moving, so I don't know. The thing I was going to say
go back to what you were saying.
No, it's risky that I can remember what I was saying, but I got this one. The thing that I find is those things are usually compounded, right? So the more often you have to take them for a chunk of time before they start working. And then I'm always worried, like if I miss it for a week, have I set myself back a month? Like, do I have to just go back to doing it every day to get back to where I was? That's why guys in Viagra are just so much more lucky because it's like, oh, I remembered to take it, boing, and then there's no waiting, literally. God bless.
I've never had an experience with Viagra. I'm not quite that old.
You don't know if you have. I don't think most guys are like, hey, guess what? They're not advertising it. They still have a little bit of shame in their game, which they shouldn't. They should be like, yeah, I'm taking this. Lucky you,
talking
and
about
me.
Viagra reminds me of one of my favorite ads I ever got to work on. It was a Super Bowl campaign for Fiat, and the Fiat was getting a bigger size. And so our creative team came up with this genius idea, and we shot it in Italy. And it was like this very famous Italian older couple, like starting getting frisky. And he's like, "Un momento." He runs to the bathroom and he gets his pill jar out. And he goes to take this blue pill, and it magically flies out the window. And then it bounces all through this little town because it's like PT Liano is built up, right? Because it's an old town where you'd have like a moat to surround it and protect it. And, it hits a bunch of different things, a priest, which is a sign, some clotheslines. And there's this young man who's not unattractive going to fill his Fiat gas tank, and the pill goes in there, and you see the like car start to get bigger. And the
Oh my God,
line
I love
was,
it.
the Fiat I don't know, I forget the model, forgive
500.
me, it's been too long. It's the 500, but I think it was the 500X.
Okay.
It was like, the 500X, uh, was it bigger, bolder, and ready for action? And I'm just like, that is like, this is where I love what I do because I get to work with people that can think of something like that.
I love the creativity. I love, and then there are some industries for which that kind of tongue in cheek and fun is not allowed. Or not that it's disallowed, it's just not encouraged or not on brand. So it kind of sucks the fun out of it. But wouldn't you like to? Wouldn't you like to?
I mean, I think that it's funny because I've transitioned a lot into the medical space, but I think that there's more fun to be had there than everyone's currently having. All I'm
I,
gonna say.
I agree. And I think people are just cautiously dipping their toe into it. And I think it's true for tongue in cheek and things like that that are funny and memorable, but it's also true for, I'm going to use fear, and I don't mean it like that, but there are some conditions that you should almost be scared into action, right? Like if you're going to die from a heart disease, you should probably know that. And if our campaigns are meant to be like more calm, like, hey, you should go see your doctor regularly to check up on this one thing you have, versus, hey, get off the couch, you fucking moron. You're going to be dead in 2 years. I'm paraphrasing, clearly not creative or a writer, but that type of thing, I think if we scared them into action, it wouldn't be a bad thing. If you actually knew this thing was going to kill you, you'd probably do something about it.
I mean, one would think, Kelly, although you and I have worked in this
True.
industry long enough to know that you can slam people over the head with a message and they're still like, I'm
Nah,
good.
I'm
I'm
good.
good. I'm good. So, this is getting very serious very quickly.
Yes, I'm still spicy from my house. Let's do
Listen,
something fun.
well, I'm gonna be spicy about the wellness space in general.
Okay, let's go.
I have recently been trying to work a budget.
Oh, gross.
I know.
That's anti-wellness. That is
Well, so anyways,
PTSD.
so I am looking at my spending
Mm.
and I'm like, all of the shit that I buy, the supplements, whatever, I'm just like, and I saw this, I don't know, do you know who Kendall Toole is?
No.
Well, she used to be a Peloton instructor and now she does her own thing, but you
Okay.
should follow her. She is
Okay.
fabulous. She is this beautiful Southern California girl that was like a cheerleader at USC and almost killed herself one night, like almost jumped. She suffered a lot from anxiety and depression her
Oh.
whole life, and she's
Oof.
very vulnerable in that space, and she talks a lot about how I said I was going to get less dark. This is going darker, but it's going to come back up. Just
We're
wait
coming
for it.
back.
So,
Okay.
but she's very good about, like, being vulnerable and not trying to be perfect, and, I mean, listen, she's a fucking smoke show, but if my job was to be hot, I could do it too.
Yeah.
Um, anyways, but she posted this thing yesterday, and this combined with me being or I found it yesterday, who knows when she posted it. This combined with me, like, assessing my spending habits. She goes into, like, toxic diet culture and how we've reframed it. And I was like, motherfucker, I'm a marketer and I fell for this shit. We used to
Yes.
talk about no carbs. Now it's anti-inflammatory
I
eating.
saw this reel you're talking about. She's a blonde. I think her hair's in a ponytail and she's wearing like a red exercise outfit or something. She caught me because I heard her say that. We used to call it, keto, blah, blah, blah. Now we call it anti-inflammatory. It's all toxic culture. Oh,
Well,
no.
and she goes through and as a marketer, I'm like, you dumbass, Christy. And not that marketers are trying to fool people. That's not true. We're not trying to fool people. We're not trying to whatever, but we change our words based on what's relevant from a cultural perspective, right? And
Correct.
some words do become toxic and you have to move away from them. For instance, weight loss. Even Weight Watchers has moved away from Weight Watchers. They're WW, right?
Yeah.
And so, but it's this, I mean, it's the same thing, it's just repackaged different, and everything's now, packaged in this way that's like, gut health powders and, cortisol the conversation around cortisol, like, stresses me out so fucking bad that my cortisol is probably higher than it needs to be. Like, me trying to lower my cortisol has me so anxious, and
My
it's like, now I'm
cortisol's
stressed about
jacked.
being stressed. Like, it's just and then the balancing of the hormones, like, we also I mean, it's just I'm so as overwhelmed, and I'm turning 47 this month, April 26th, don't forget. And so I'm to a point where I'm like, I don't know, not facing my own mortality, that's not it at all, but like really trying to dig deep on what's healthy because I have treated my body like shit for
Yeah.
the last since I was 17. What is that? How many years?
Or
That 30 years since I was 17? Oh, shoot me in the face.
I think, well, I also think that perhaps marketing has made you believe that what you have chosen to do to your body has been treating it like shit. Like, relatively speaking, maybe you haven't, because I do know you exercise and you make food at home more than you eat out. And so I don't know that you've been treating it like shit. Do I think you eat, or myself, do I choose green green vegetables over carbohydrates? No, I don't. So is that treating my body like shit? I don't know. I think back in the day they used to eat meat and potatoes. I don't remember them talking about kale. So I think some of that same culture applies to making us think what we're doing is wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm
As
with
I'm
you
Go ahead.
on the can I say I also noticed yesterday, back to your comment about balancing hormones, there is some device, and I'm skeptical at best, but think of the insulin. It's not a pump, but it sticks on you stick it on your body, and then it just
Mhm.
like feeds your insulin at the how magically it does it, I don't know, at the appropriate time.
No, it monitors it.
Okay. So think of that. So it has like
Mhm.
obviously a needle or some sort of puncturing onto your skin, maybe those types of devices. So there is one right now that you put on, and it draws your blood into a little tube that is at the bottom of that circle. I don't know how long it takes to do it, but they were saying basically you should be monitoring your hormone levels to make sure that you're performing optimally in real time. So you're just jacking your delts with this like device to collect blood. I don't know where the collection device goes from there. I don't know what you're measuring it in. I don't know what it costs because I don't want to click on it. I will then get nothing but that in my feed. So you're just like, okay, interesting, gross. And really? Do we need to measure things all the time? I don't know.
Yes, Kelly. Yes. In this toxic wellness culture, we do. And here's what gets me. Because, as I couldn't sleep last night because I didn't take my progesterone. Although, listen, hormone therapy, I 100% believe in.
Yes,
Like,
we're
that's
into
the
that.
one where, yes, I'm here for it, whatever. But as I'm sitting there, and I'm a businesswoman, and I'm like, if any of this shit worked 100%, they'd like put themselves out of business.
Yeah, true. Well, it's the same, you can fall into conspiracy theories, but I don't think this is one of them. They
No,
could
I
cure
think it's just,
cancer. They
go
could cure
ahead.
cancer. They could cure cancer. They could cure diabetes, I'm sure of it, or at least immediately catch it and stop it from ruining your life. But there's no money in that. There's no money in preventative medicine for the
This gets
hospitals.
so depressing so
I thought we were
quickly.
supposed to be doing things that were positive,
Shit. What
and
are
we're
we gonna
just like
talk?
rage against society.
Well,
It's
speaking of,
April
this
Fools.
is yeah, well, fuck it. Well, that's my dad's birthday, and we know what a great person my dad, my crazy narcissistic father was born on April Fools. Isn't that insane?
I mean, that's the ultimate.
That was a smile and a wink from God. Um, speaking of,
Oh God.
I can't talk about this on the podcast. But I went to confession yesterday
Oh,
after almost a year and a half of not going.
how does that work? I'm not familiar. Do you have like retroactive Hail Marys? Like what happens?
No, 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 no. It's, here's the thing about this is, I'm not going to get into, too much of different religious rituals and things, but there is something purging. It's kind of like therapy with a more of a
With
spiritual
guilt.
figure.
With guilt.
You know what's funny? Really, Catholicism has changed a lot. I never feel guilty when I leave confession. I actually think I don't feel guilty about anything anymore. That might be a hormone imbalance because I'm just like, hey, bro, I'm doing the best I fucking can. Okay.
Don't make me feel bad for this. Let
I'm
me ask this. Let me ask
Go
this
ahead.
because I just don't know, but I just only what I've seen on TV. Forgive me, Father. It's been however long since my last confession. That seems to be a line that you state. I'm curious if you state that so that in the minister, are they called minister? In their mind,
Priest.
priest, thank you. In the priest's head, they're taking a tally. Like, that's a lot of bad things that have happened if you only just confessed 10 days ago versus it's been a year and a half. And then they're like, okay, I will confirm her sentence because it's been a long time. And that was a
First of
relatively
all,
short
you
number
don't
of
get a
sins.
sentence.
Well, whatever you want to call it,
Maybe
penance.
maybe you used to, but I don't know why that is. I think maybe so speaking of wellness cultures, which I had a point that I was going to make it somewhere that had nothing to do with church,
But
but
I didn't take my progesterone. I can't remember shit.
I can't remember shit. I may have taken twice the estrogen I needed this morning. Who knows? No, anyways, it's actually a very good, at least I find it to be a very peaceful and good conversation. He did tell me to come see him because what we were talking about, my
Did
biggest
he do it
issue.
with could you see his face? Like, was it like, oh,
Yes, oh yeah.
yeah.
Listen, I don't kneel in the dark. I go sit down.
Okay.
I'm like, here's where I'm at. I don't
So,
it's a conversation. It's like, here's what I'm feeling. And where I was getting to was one of the big things I feel a lot of, and this is me being maybe a little bit oversharing, is rage.
mm,
And because I'm coming out of a divorce and because things are not fair and because this world that we live in and is just a fucking disaster, and I'm just looking at everything and I'm like, what in the actual fuck is happening? Kind of in a place where I'm questioning everything. I'm questioning why of everything. And I saw this thing the other day, and it was on. I mean, I have some core beliefs that I of course have, but like just general societal norms, quote unquote. And I saw this guy on TikTok when I was, doom scrolling or whatever. And he was talking about, my grandparents, and he was our age, right? 40s, 50s. He's like, my grandparents, they were married for 65 years and they knew how to stick it out. And then I was thinking, I started thinking this as I'm watching this, but of course, because it was on my feed, it cuts this woman and she's like, yeah, because your grandma was financially dependent on your grandpa, buddy.
yeah,
That's why.
she
That's
had no
why
out.
that
Yeah.
there was no out for her. And I'm just like, again, this is a very dark podcast. Perhaps we turn it. But anyways, I've just been like kind of like in the whole wellness sphere, and then like what a woman's supposed to be and what we're supposed to be as mothers and career women. And it's just all kind of bubbling
Com-
up in me.
Coming at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, fuck this.
Yeah, I think you're talking about a few things that I think are true for everyone, but especially for those of us of a certain vintage right now with the X chromosomes. The rage is exactly the right word to describe it. It's probably a good thing you did take 2 estrogen pills this morning. Like, I think there is an element of that too, because I am a very normally patient person. And if I get frustrated, I'm angry. I'm not ragey. But now, if I'm going to pass beyond frustration, it immediately goes to rage, where I'm like, whoa, calm down, lady, to myself. So I think an element of your menopause, perimenopause is also rage, but you're not wrong. I think the environment around us is extra. There's shitty things happening. Everybody is spicy. Financially, everything is a fuckery. And then you have other things like social media that are telling you you're doing this wrong and you should be managing this and you should be measuring that. So it's just kind of like everything coming at you, where the most viable thing is sunshine in a yurt in a field with no contact, right? Outside of maybe a handful of people that you birthed and loved. That seems like everybody's out right now. I think it's just it's a moment that we all need a break from. I will,
And
here's a suggestion. I don't know if
okay.
it applies to you, but 2 people now in my professional and personal life separately have decided they are American. They have decided to take part in the Canadian Citizenship Act that allows you to get citizenship in Canada if there is somewhere in your bloodline someone who is a Canadian citizen. And they have both found out that they have a grandparent who was naturalized to Canada, one from Ireland, one from, I think, Hawaii, and they're going to get it as an option. I'm not saying Canada's the answer. There's a lot of things that are wrong. What I am pointing out is people are looking for a parachute. Like there are American folks going, this is some bullshit. I need an option. And so they're exploring their options. And just one of the options happens to be Canada. So it's just interesting that, and these are both men. These are not even, this is not perimenopausal rage. And they're like, get me the hell out of here.
Yeah, and what I will say, Kelly, is I'm a kind person. Like, it is easy for me to be kind. It is very difficult for me to hold a grudge, sometimes to hold boundaries, right? Like, these are things that I work on, and I don't rage at anyone. I just feel it in my soul. Like,
Yes,
I
same.
have been listening to these alternative music nonstop. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I don't know if you remember what that all is, but, like, I Alone by Live and just, like, Nirvana and
Yeah.
all this, like, fuck the man kinda bullshit from my youth, and, I think that part of it for me is it is hormonal, but I think much more of it is just looking at things through an adult lens and opening my eyes and going, "What in the actual fuck, people?" Like, I'm
Yep.
gonna say this. I gotta say it. Oracle, they had their best quarter ever.
Mm-hmm.
They laid off, what, 30,000 people via email?
What?
Have you not heard about this?
No, because I'm trying to
6
stay away from the news because it's depressing.
Well, I know, but, like, the thing is, like, I'm just like, that is not capitalism. That is greed.
Mm.
30,000 people got a fucking email telling them that they were no longer employed. And you're just like, What?" And, this was actually all kind of part of my it's confession, it's a conversation, whatever. But where I'm just like, what people that make billions already need that much more money? And maybe it's always been this way and we just didn't know about it. Cause like if you go back to kings and queens and whatever, and like, you've got a staff of 500 people and you build Versailles, right? But maybe it just wasn't so in everyone's face. But right now I'm just looking around and I'm like, what?
What's
What?
happening?
What is happening right now? And so for me, like I said, it's really frustrating, and I know it's, like, maybe this is not in our typical funny theme, but, like, I'm just pissed.
Yeah.
I'm like, "These things are not right, and it's
Well,
not
and
okay."
I
Go
find
ahead.
that I'm going to say the algorithm is not our friend when it comes to these types of things too, right?
No.
Because as soon as you observe it, you don't even have to like it. You just spend the entire time on it. You don't just scroll quickly past it. Oh, you liked that. Let me send you 100 more related things. And so that you get down that nighttime doom scrolling rabbit hole and you're being fed really bad things. Well, not bad things, but you're being fed thematically the same things. And so you get down in a spiral, which is when I quickly abort and try to find pandas in the snow. Cause
It
it's
is
like, I gotta lighten up my eyeballs.
it's funny you say that. When I notice but I also do read the news, not on,
Yes, like
um
on news feeds, not on your social
yes, like, I
media. Yeah.
actually read the news, like,
Mhm.
Oracle, that's not some, fake news bullshit that happened, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And the numbers are public, so it's something true that happened. But it's funny, I try to trick the algorithm sometimes when I notice that my algorithm is getting too toxic wellness culture. Because yes, folks, I know what's happening, but I buy it. But I buy it. I'm like,
You're
"There's
like,
a
"Give me
magic
your"
pill somewhere that will fix everything. Let's
Yeah.
go."
"Is it beef
And then
cheeks? I take it."
yeah, I'm like, "Oh, I can get all my daily vitamins and some shitty tasting Gruen gummies. Let's go." I still take those. Actually, I do really like those gummies. Not the taste,
Okay.
but from a functionality perspective,
Yeah.
I
Listen,
think they're
if
good.
you're a person who needs a good poop, take a gummy that helps provide all the things you need to do that. There's, again, nothing you can't do without a good night's sleep and a good poop. If you can do those two things, you can take on the world. And now none of us are getting good sleep, so you got to find a plan B.
I know,
And I
right?
realize I just said poop, but you didn't react poorly to it because it was very related to the conversation.
And also because there's so much shit happening in the world, the word poop no longer offends me, Kelly. But so anyways,
Good.
so when my algorithm is too much about fixing yourself and what's happening in the world, like news, I purposely do things like search laughing babies. And
Yes.
I will look at all of them that it provides.
So that
And
you
then
keep getting more.
Right.
Smart.
And then I'll do things like funny parenting stories, right? Or, just stuff like that so that I make
Babies
sure
swearing.
babies
Those-
cursing.
Oh, those are good.
Sometimes, listen, okay. I do puppies because I think puppies are really cute. I don't dislike animals. I just don't like the way they smell. Period.
So
I know.
have you ever sniffed Sunny's feet? Do the Cheetos smell of her feet? Don't no, but judging by your
Why
face,
the
that's
fuck would I?
they
I
smell
don't
like Cheetos. They're delicious. No, okay,
know.
never mind.
Hard pass. Hard pass. I did
Google
pin her
that.
down yesterday.
Google that. The smell
I
of
don't even use
dogs.
Google anymore. I'm in AI constantly. I'm like, Google is shit. Google is crap. Oh, also, I'm loving all the different. First of all, I love AI, and I know everyone's a little bit afraid of it. I'm kind of afraid of it. I was actually standing in line for confession yesterday, and I was going through the things that I thought I needed to say and talk about, and I almost put it in ChatGPT to make it more concise. And I was like, you know what? I don't think I'm putting that in here. Ain't no
Also
way.
unnecessary on so many levels for me to make this succinct. You're like, also, let me just quickly add to my list of confessional. I may have a slight addiction to ChatGPT.
I may have decided to not do anything other than give AI prompts in my life. Period. Period.
Things I
No.
never thought I would put into ChatGPT. Please help me reframe my confessional.
No, I just want to make it more concise because I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm a talker. And sometimes landing the plane gets difficult because my ADHD kicks in and I'm like, oh, look at that. What's happening? Oh, what are we doing? Oh, and then I remember this and then this happened. And I'm like, ah.
I have in the many, many tasks that we have to take on at the house. I've just started writing a list in my phone in notes because otherwise I cannot rely on my memory to just like, hey, don't forget and go do this next. I'm giving myself a task list and it's just like this, and this. You got to work around your abilities sometimes. I got too many things on my brain.
Yeah, I'm really sorry if that happened to you, though. I know that we're making a joke of it, but that really sucks. And
It
again,
does. Yeah.
first of all, I need their names, not on this podcast. I need their full names. I will find them. I will find them. I will find their new address for you. I have people for that. I literally have a lot of friends that work in like criminal law. So if you want to pass their names to me, I'm pretty sure I can find you an address.
I'll
So
find
you
you
can
an address.
have papers served.
I have to say, I love my neighbors, and they were sending us photos of the moving truck, like, hey, FYI, it's here, just in case you didn't know, like multiple neighbors, which I love. And then when we went to the house to get the keys, they happened to be outside, some of them, and then it was a reunion week. And so our next door neighbor immediate is a retired math and science teacher. And he is one of the originals. He and his wife built the house in the early 90s and they still live there, which is awesome. Anyways, he says, I mentioned that they, hadn't paid the rent. They just left the house in a mess and stuff. And I said I was considering following the moving truck because I've been here 2 blocks away, but I never could coordinate it when they were loading up the truck to follow where it went. So he said, well, I can tell you that the truck came and went often because they had a smaller truck. They were obviously doing the move by themselves. And he said when it was gone, it wasn't gone for long. So they're close. Kelly, if I knew you were going to follow the truck, I would have done it for you. I'm retired. I got nothing else to do. Damn it, missed opportunity. I could have had my neighbors stalk them.
No, you just need to give me their names.
Will
I got
do.
You, boo. I got
Please find a
people for that.
forwarding address.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a lot of money. You're talking about thousands of dollars. So that could be like a couple trips to the grocery store.
Right now. It's 2 steaks at the grocery store right now. Yes, not to mention that when they had given notice, they didn't allow anybody in for showings. Now I know why. And so we couldn't show the house until the 1st of April. So effectively, they could have also cost us a month of rent because it's highly unlikely we will rent it in the month of April. So I'm like, thanks for fucking me over 2 times. But
Are you
here's what I
staying
will
in
say.
Canada till this is rented? Like, what's your plan? We haven't talked
No,
about
no,
that.
no. No, I mean, my dog isn't here. I would answer differently if Oliver was up here because Emery is home and watching him. So it's not really fair to say, hey, can you continue to be a 20-year-old with a job and do school and watch the dog? That's a lot. So
And
I
stay in
fly.
my beautiful home.
Yeah, so I fly back on Sunday. Andrew will stay a little longer to make sure the major things are done. And then we have some other things to do outside, but this is not the time of year in Canada to do outside stuff. It's too wet, it's too muddy. So we'll have to come back anyways in the warmer months to do like pressure washing the deck and all that kind of stuff. And so we'll come back later in the like June, July-ish time frame and stay longer and take care of that kind of stuff. But God willing, there will be renters in it and we'll just work around them because we just want to do some outside repair stuff too, because it is our home and we do appreciate that. We want it to look nice on the street for the neighbors too. So we'll make it in 2 trips. But for now, is get the inside ready for the other folks. And Andrew and I both apologized to our home. We were like, hey, babe, we're really sorry this happened to you. We'll get you right. Like we're talking to our house.
Was there any nostalgia through the rage?
Oh, yeah, that it was more like just sad for the house because of the memories and because of the things that had happened in there. Like we love that house and everything that we've done in the house. And so you're like, you guys didn't take advantage of what this place allows for the community, the neighbors, the house, the outdoor. It's like, wow, you put a bad juju on here. So it's kind of like, I want to put the good juju back in this house because the house deserves it. Which is weird. I know it's a piece of property, but it's our
No,
past.
I don't think it's weird. I think, when it comes to homes, every house I've ever purchased, I've written a letter with the offer because I think that like someday I will sell this house. Maybe in a couple years when my kids get out of the perfect grade school they're in. I want something different. I will want it. I want to know who it's going to.
Yeah.
I mean, because there's so many memories in this house for me, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of
And
big
so
things
I think
happened.
think that it's totally normal to feel sentimental about your home. How long
Yeah.
were
I
those
think
renters there?
2 years and a couple, 3 months.
Hmm.
I just,
Assholes.
yeah, there's just some stuff I'm like, maybe I'm going to assume woman, and I know it's sexist of me to assume it, but even things like how terrible the kitchen state was, I'm kind of like, you cook food for your family in here. You never wanted to like clean this? I don't understand. Are you, or maybe people just are okay living like that. I'm just like, what? No. I can't have that kind of filth in my life. But anyways, those are the things you kind of question. It's a little bit of a peek behind a door that you don't get a peek behind, and you're like, whoa, people are definitely living a life very differently than the one I live, just as far as what I want for my surroundings.
Don't come to my house right now. It's not filthy. That's not fair. That's not this week with work.
There's messy and then there's filthy.
Yeah,
Those
no,
are
my house
different.
is never filthy because her name is Maria and she comes every 2 weeks with her friends and they're the best team ever. They gave my little so I if I like something, I tell everyone about it. If I like a person, I tell
Same.
everyone. If I like a product, if I like a service, especially a small business. There's my cleaning lady, she has a team. Her name's Maria and she's lovely. And, like, when I was going through the divorce, she brought me a card one day, and
Aw.
she wrote me this, like, beautiful heartfelt note. So, of course, she now cleans 2 of my sister's homes as well because, again, I'm like, "Hey, let's pass it on," right? So, my little sister, Jenny, who's 2 years younger than me, so what? Jenny's what? F how old am
44,
I? Wait,
46.
I'm 46 until the end of the month. 46,
April 26th, everybody, don't forget.
April 26th. I'm in the middle of 9 children. Do not ignore me. It hurts my feelings.
You do know that you're 3 days away from Andrew's birthday, so maybe we could coordinate. He's the 23rd. We should. Did you know? Fun fact.
I'm writing it down. He's the what? 24th?
23rd.
23rd. Huh. You like Tauruses. Interesting.
I guess.
So anyways, so she actually brought so Jenny's a little bit younger than me, and she's just hitting the point of like where she's like, what in the fuck? Why can't I sleep? Why do I hate everyone? Why is it that I can eat air and like gain weight? And I mean, she's really,
Poor
bless
Jenny.
her little heart. She is just like, it's just starting for her.
Jenny, welcome to the club. It's hot over here, quite literally. I'm sweating as we speak.
And
I may need to double my estrogen. I'm a little sweaty today.
By the way, I'm going to come back to this hair thing.
Okay.
But because Jenny has this big, beautiful, long hair, and it's like just not as thick as it used to be. Jenny is one of those women who gets like waist long hair her whole fucking life because she cuts it and 6 months later it's back to the same length. Bitch. Never had that in my life. But anyways, so Jenny, what was I going to say? Oh, so my wonderful cleaning lady, Maria, brought Jenny a book on hormones. I think like it's just like kind of slipping it to her like,
I suspect you might need this.
I feel like you're needing to learn a little bit about what's going on with you because you don't hate these lovely people that you helped create.
It's so interesting. You're like, what vibe am I giving off that even my cleaning lady, who only sees me once every couple of weeks for maybe an hour or two, suspects I may need some help?
I need some freaking therapy. Hormonal replacement therapy. Okay, also, I've made a decision. Yes. So next week I'm getting extensions.
Okay, so
in
you
my
are.
hair.
Okay.
I'm doing it. They're not going to be long, though, because I looked into the price of the long ones, and that's like a whole different, maybe in 6 months we'll try it.
The comma in the bill.
Then there gets to be a comma, and I'm not trying to do the comma yet. So I want to see if I like them first, right? Like if I can tolerate them.
So what day? When are you doing it? When are you getting them?
Please.
For your birthday? For your birthday?
I mean, sure. I am taking 2 trips this month. One to New York for my niece's 21st birthday. I'm going to show her New York City. And then what?
Well, finish. Where's your other trip? Then I'm going to come back.
So my friend, who I think she's 42 and her birthday is definitely not in April, but she's having her 40th birthday party because she was like pregnant for that, and in Miami at the end of the month on my birthday weekend. I love this.
Okay. Yay for her, but also if I was pregnant on my 40th birthday, I would lose my shit. But good for her that she was.
Well, yeah, but
everybody has reasons. Yes, the last podcast, you were talking about all the travel you had coming up. And when I was editing it, you had made a comment about being in New York City just before Thanksgiving and then blah, 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 blah. And so I was like, my comment was, and then it's Christmas. And your face was, and I'm like, why did she think that was weird that I brought up Christmas? But you said Thanksgiving. So I was like, oh, you're talking about trips well in the future, but you must have just meant Easter or something, like right after Easter. You said right after Thanksgiving. Now it's all making sense.
I was wearing sunglasses and had a hat on. I had been in New Orleans for like 36 hours for work.
This is not a shame. This was just makes sense now. Your trips were right after Easter.
Bro, you do not want me on this today. But I was like, you know what? That's why it's funny. One of my dear guy friends, he sent me a text and he's like, I don't even know that he like watches anything. He's like, sunglasses, what? You go in Hollywood? I'm like, I'm always Hollywood, buddy. I'm like, but I just really looked like shit and I didn't feel like putting in any of the work to
unshitify. Yeah.
Unshitify my face. Like, because I've been flying and I'm 46, right? So you put 2 flights in there, you put a shit ton of cream in everything.
Salty food and
cream and booze and like I look like someone who
back.
My face was like twice the size it normally is. I was like, what in the I was like, absolutely not. This is not fixable.
Well, yeah, I mean, you should get on Instagram and see what they have for inflammation.
Nope, nope, I'm good, Kelly. I'm good. I'm good. I'm
There's
good.
probably a
Speaking
set
of
of
my
pills for
girl
that.
Speaking of
Yes.
my girl Kendall Toole, she also you should follow her because she'll do things like, for instance, we all like to drink our electrolyte drinks that we pay a shit ton of
Mhm.
money for. She
Mhm.
shows you how to make one at home, and it's literally like, "Hey, here's
Salt.
this water, a little bit of
Yeah.
salt, lemon juice," and it's not from a real lemon, it's from a thing because she's a normal human being and doesn't have
Yeah.
time to go out to her lemon tree and pick them. And then she's like, "And if you're about to work out," like, she's like, "You can use agave or whatever." She's like, "I like maple syrup." She does a little bit of maple syrup, shakes that shit, and she's like, "This works just as well, and it tastes great."
Oh, okay, I'm gonna definitely add her to my list of follows. I just, again, didn't want my algorithm to get jacked, but I can
No,
definitely
but
go look
she's
for
a
her
good
separately.
one.
Okay, I
She's
like
a
it.
good one, and I gotta say this because I love Peloton, and that's my core workout method, not just the bike. I do a lot of the lifting classes and stuff, and
Mhm.
Kendall, I miss you. I might have to get your new app and figure it out because I really appreciate when a fitness professional is inspiring and real.
Yes. And have some alternatives to not just like, "This is not an ad for this, this, and this." It's like, "Hey, here's how you could actually do it." Yeah.
Right, with stuff that's in your house.
And hopefully it's not cottage cheese because gross. Please don't let it all be cottage cheese 'cause,
No. I did make something really good, and I'm gonna share this with you. This was a random Christy, meal that has, like, I don't know, 56 grams of protein per serving, but it's delish. So,
okay.
I took ground chicken, because I probably just need to lose weight, but my, cholesterol is slightly high. The bad cholesterol is slightly high, so I'm trying to, like, eat more chicken than I feel like a Chick-fil-A thing here, but eat a little bit more chicken, a little bit less red meat, just, trying to do the things.
Mhm.
But I'm not cutting out meat, so anyone who has that as a suggestion, fuck off, it's not happening. I will never be a vegetarian or a vegan.
Same.
No. No, no, no. So, anyways, I took 2 pounds of ground chicken and I seasoned the hell out of it, right? Because it's pretty bland. I put, like, I don't know, garlic salt and Italian seasonings and onions and salt and pepper and blah, 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 and I cooked it. Then I put in, can of or a jar of marinara sauce. I've done it
Mhm.
twice. Once I used Prego, once I used, is it Rao's? Anyways, and then I boiled some protein pasta, and if you haven't tried protein pasta, get Barilla. It is so good, Presley doesn't know the difference, and it's 10 grams of protein per oh god, I'm
Per cup.
falling into the toxic fucking wellness culture as I talk. Anywho, damn it. Okay,
Never mind.
I'm gonna continue the recipe because it's really delicious and it's
Okay.
really full of protein and good things,
Okay.
and then I take a
Protein
wheel
pasta.
so, make a bow tie protein pasta. You always have to cook it a little bit more than the directions say, even for al dente, just heads up. And then I take a wheel of Laughing Cow light cheese and mix it in with the sauce and the chicken, and it makes it kinda creamy. It
Beautiful.
tastes a little bit like chicken parmesan, and it's, like, low fat and high protein. God, I
See,
suck.
if you're into that kind of thing, I love
If
that
you
you
believe that
caught yourself.
protein builds muscle, which is actually scientifically proven, and you're just trying to eat a little bit healthier,
There you
this is
go.
the dish for you.
Quick and easy, not a lot of ingredients, and you don't have to order out. You can order. And you know what I do love about those types of things is they taste even better the next day as leftovers.
Right.
Yes, because we're all
I
busy. Who
also love
wants
that
to cook every day?
not me. I mean, if that was my only job, I would love it. I would have like a
Yeah.
I yeah, like listen,
Yeah.
if I could just be in my kitchen listening to my 90s alternative playlist, raging and cooking, and didn't
Yeah.
have to do the dishes, I'm
Yes.
here for it.
Yes. If I didn't have to add the thinking every single day to all the other thinking I do, if all I got to do was think about creative things I could make for food, great. But
Yes, thank you.
yeah,
Thank
after a
you.
certain time, you're like, no, I can't do this anymore. It's too much time.
Yeah, no, I make things like that because also too, that's like comfort food for me, right? Like it's healthy, but it kind of feels like you're, dare I say it, being bad. But it still tastes, it's really good and it's super filling. And Presley yesterday, because I bring that this is her snack on the way to volleyball. In fairness, the kid works out for 2 straight hours and then has an hour of strength and agility after. So we're talking 3 hours. So, I can't really just give her, a cheese stick
Yeah.
and a bag of
Yeah,
freaking Debbie
exactly.
straws. So, she gets warm meals, God, this is making me hungry. Anyhow, but she, like, downed it. She was like, "This is so good,
So
mom," and I'm
good.
like, "And it's healthy." Check for the
Don't tell
win.
her that
I go,
part.
"Colton,
Yeah.
do you want some?" He's like, "No,
Ew, gross.
I'm
No.
good." I was like, "What would you like for dinner?" And he's like, chicken nuggets, mashed potatoes, and gravy, and mixed vegetables." And I'm like, "Okay, buddy, how about chicken nuggets and,
Mixed
uh,
vegetables.
mixed vegetables and air fried fries?" Like, I ain't got time to make you your mashed potato.
I think that mashed potatoes actually freeze pretty well. You should maybe like one Sunday do a 10-pound bag of potatoes into mash and then like portion it out into Ziploc bags and put it in the freezer. So in a pinch,
But
you're like, mashed potatoes, no problem.
that's really smart, and I'm hosting Easter this weekend for my
Yes,
family.
you mentioned.
Um,
You're
so
on potato with Mary Catherine.
I mean, she's gonna peel them, but
Yeah.
that's it.
So
Yeah.
she say, hey, mom, can you peel an extra 10-pound bag? And
Well,
I'm sticking them in
yeah,
the freezer.
because actually that's what we do is a 10-pound bag for,
Yeah.
like, my family, and if it
So
was
do 20.
more yeah, maybe I should just do that. That just seems like a lot of potatoes to do at once, but maybe I'll do like, next week I'll do that because Colton really loves mashed potatoes, and potatoes are like everyone's like, "Oh, carbs," but potatoes when it comes to, like, high filling up and, like,
Oh,
low
lots of
cal and, like, potatoes are
extra
great.
fun. Extra fiber if
What?
you actually make the mashed potato. Extra fiber if you make them with the skin on. Just saying. I know you're a peeler, but
I
I
don't.
know. Here's the thing I do love about leftover mashed potatoes, though. In a pinch, you have them then to make the best shepherd's pie. Like there's other things that you use the mashed potatoes for. So I definitely think if you're making mash en masse for Easter, you should double it down and freeze it up. You'll use them for sure. That's my
I
little
mean,
task for you.
I do have a pot that could fit a small child. That's how big it is.
You're like, "Who made this and why?" Well, let's assume it was for all the Italian families and the nonnas who make their own pasta sauce. I love
I don't
it.
know. I think it's for lobsters or
Oh,
crab legs.
yeah, probably. It's not for
I
boiling
don't even
children,
know.
it's for boiling crustaceans.
I don't know why I went to boiling children. That is very, very dark. What are you doing for Easter?
Cleaning my house. We're just like,
Yay.
"Yay, yay." Yay. Well, if we get all of the things that we need to get done on the house, will we then, spend time with friends and or family for Easter? Sure we will. But if I have a limited amount of time here, so I have to prioritize the house first. So, and we have to decide like, are we just being extra picky about making it perfect again because we want it back where we left it? Or do you at some point say, it's a rental, how perfect does it need to be? We're reconciling that.
Well, I think it comes down to, from an investment standpoint, what's the ROI? My God, these people. I I was going much darker. I'm like, I feel like there's like a horror story here somewhere. Like, I don't know. I mean, it seems very Frida McFadden. I was actually gonna I put that down here. I put sage. Going back to the hair thing, because I just looked down and I saw hair. So I'm getting extensions, but I've spent so much money in the past 2 years on products like for my hair and for bougie shampoos and all this shit. And guess what? And I don't wash it for days and days on end. None of it works. So I'm going back to protein or to Pantene Pro V and washing it every other day like I used to when I had beautiful fucking hair. Yes. Girl, yes. I always had to follow it with, conditioner, but yeah. Maybe I need to get Presley some Pert Plus. Huh. When do they still sell it? How long has it been here? Like, is it in the guest bathroom? Because I think I still have herbal essences in my guest bathroom. Yeah. I mean, I've even taken to wearing a bonnet to bed. Oh, yeah, I mean, there are things. One of my favorite things to do is, like, the food stuff to watch it, which when you're trying to lose weight is super smart, but it's all these, like, high protein, lower calorie recipes of, like, your favorite stuff, and I'm just like, "That's brilliant," and then I never make it. I mean, I do, but I don't listen. On a really bad day, though, I there's a certain type of French bread with butter that I could just sit down with and eat butter and French bread and drink a Pinot Noir and be like, "Fuck the world, I'm not leaving." Yes! Not butter. Those premium plus saltine pre crackers, I have them downstairs. Like, I will eat this sometimes when I'm in my feelings, that and cheese, I'm here for it. My friend the other Right? It's my friend the other day was telling me, she's like, "Yeah, I'm PMSing," I was into the, saltine crackers with, easy cheese, and I'm like, "Hold on. Why do you have easy cheese in your home?" Also, because I would eat it. Like, I can't have that here. That comes Yeah, that you like. Listen, I'm just gonna tell you, Bugles with the cheese as the ice cream cone on top, real nice, Clark. In fairness, I would eat that at volleyball tournaments, so it's not like I wouldn't bur You've never been to New Have you ever been to the Northeast during, that color yellow does exist in nature and orange. When the leaves turn. Yeah, well, you also think that Kansas is the East Coast, so, I mean. And what did they have to say? They're like, "God, just get her off this fucking topic." I was briefing a team the other day, and I got the giggles. Have you ever done that? Like, I No, but it was just funny because again, this is an internal team, and they're dear friends, and I love them, but I was trying to turn something so quick that was super scientific, and I didn't really understand it yet, and then I just, like, started laughing, and I couldn't stop, and I'm like, "I'm so sorry." Well, it was Well, also, it was assays. No, and then I was trying to find what a point of differentiation was, and it was deeper detection, and I just couldn't stop. And I can't. I can't. I also, like, laugh like a little kid anytime someone says market penetration because I'm like, "There's a billion other ways to fucking say that, you dumbass." Ugh, God, I have to go work out after this. Well, I have to do that too, but I worked this morning, and then I had this little break after I put my tiny humans in their pen at school. God, get to school, kids. I did good. Hope hope they're not following. That this is awkward. Yeah, don't post this part. Although anytime I tell you not to post something, it suddenly shows up, and I'm like, "Well, I fucking told her not to post that." Yeah, it was really funny, but also I can't be held accountable for anything that I do or say, like, when I get back from New Orleans and haven't slept and have been on multiple planes and dealing with ICE at TSA. I just like, "Kelly did it. It's fine." Anywho, okay, I have to go be about my day. This was an interesting podcast. Perhaps next time, Kelly, we should have a topic and just not wander aimlessly. Mine well, we can do another one because my family and I almost didn't I mean, some of my family listens to this, some are like, "We get enough of her anyways." But literally, I've had so many friends and family reach out to me about that podcast, and they're like, "Can you do this, like, once a month? Like, just a new list of petty shit." And I'm like, "Also, I just want everyone to an update on the pickup line. It's not gotten any better. It's different vehicles, and I don't know what the fuck is wrong with everyone. I I don't have time for this. Like, when my kids get in the car, I'm like, take it off before they're buckled in to give the other parents, like, right? Like, I'm like, get a seatbelt on now. And then I'm like, hi, how was your day? After they're buckled, right? But it's like, well, yeah, because you don't, I mean, I don't want to make people wait on my ass. Done. All right. Like, share, follow. Yeah, and Kelly, I think we should ask for people's pet peeves, and I think we should read those. I think that would be fun. And then I'll spreadsheet them and put them through AI. Just kidding. Didn't you hear that Claude's way better? That's for another discussion. All right. Bye, Kelly. You too. Bye.